Hi, Charlene here, and I encourage women to be proactive in dating. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 7 ways that churches keep women single. And before I jump into this, I just want to say that my heart here is not to blame or attack anybody, but to set people free. And I will be using some notes just because I have a lot to get through today. So let's go ahead and get started. 7 ways that churches keep women single. Step number 1, they sell books and conferences with super spiritual advice, like just wait on the Lord, with no call to action, which leads to years of perpetual singleness for many women. Step 2, there's no practical instruction on how to date. Sermons are typically about how to be content in singleness, how it's good to just wait, or it skips right to marriage and gives people marriage advice for improving their marriage. Not giving practical advice in dating leaves many Christian single women alone in navigating the modern 21st century dating issues that arise. Step 3, the standard for a guy that's good enough is set so high that very few, if any, real men can actually meet the standard. Some of the standards include that he is a spiritual leader, he prays, he fasts, he reads devotionals, he reads the Bible. Do you know what? A ton of men don't even like to read. So if you're looking for a man that's reading books constantly about spiritual topics, there just aren't going to be as many as you want there to be with all the other qualifications that you're looking for. Guys are more inclined to read a book that's practical, like something about business, finance, or sports. Also, statistically, many single men are not in church. They don't go to church. They typically go to church when they get married and they're raising a family and their wife wants them to go to church. I'm not saying there's no single men in church, but just statistically, it's a very low percentage of who is in church. It's mostly women and married couples and families. This leads to women dismissing good men who aren't in seminary or aren't missionaries, because those are the people that are going to be reading their Bible every day and to that level of spirituality. Step 4, the church preaches abstinence. So if a guy hasn't waited like you have, or if he wants to have sex with you before marriage, or even if he's too handsy with you, you're taught to see that as a major red flag. Some even say you shouldn't kiss until your wedding day. This is not how men or women, for that matter, work. So you end up avoiding dating altogether, or avoid having sex or being tempted to have sex, so that you are sure to avoid sinning against God by committing sexual sin. Did you know that men have 10 to 20 times more testosterone than women? So if your boyfriend does not want to touch you, that's a problem you need to know about. This all or nothing teaching to either be sexually repressed this all or nothing teaching about being pure causes so many people to either be sexually repressed or feel guilty about their desires and or actions. And in extreme cases, it cripples and stunts women's growth, because in repressing their sexuality, they don't come into a normal sense of confident adulthood, which can impact all other areas of their life as well. And this is a big one for me. This really affected me. All right, moving on. The 5th way, the church shames men for being men, so that men don't even want to be in church. And then the church tells women that the only place to find a good man is in church. Do you see the problem? I'm going to leave that there. The 6th way, if you do proactively look for a man to date and marry, you're told to be careful that marriage is not an idol in your heart. So now you feel like your natural desire for companionship and love is so bad and fleshly that it's like worshiping another god. Talk about guilt and shame. Even normal dating and positioning yourself to meet and interact with men becomes something that is suspect. So women are second guessing themselves all the time. Step 7. The church emphasizes being equally yoked with a partner so much that women will pass on a man who loves them, treats them well, and adores them, because the man may be less active in his faith or not to the same depth that you are. This instantly rules out so many of the available men that could be incredible companions, husbands, and fathers. Instead of more general common values like honesty, loyalty, and compassion, women feel justified and even pressured to be nitpicky to protect themselves from making the mistake of becoming unequally yoked. The church talks so much about how we should be having good fruit in our lives, but for many women, there is no good fruit in their dating life. With hyper-spiritual, unreasonable expectations for what a good and godly man looks like, many women continue to add more and more non-negotiable items to their list, which becomes a source of frustration and discouragement as they do not find men who exist with these qualities, and the years continue to go by. While there are exceptions to every point I have mentioned, in my opinion, these beliefs must be addressed and re-evaluated for many single Christian women to get unstuck so that they can date and marry a real, not fictional, man who has flaws and weaknesses just like them. I hope this video helps you to reevaluate these beliefs in a way that would best serve you. And as always, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about what I said, and if these beliefs have affected your life. I will see you in the next video, and don't forget to be proactive in dating. Bye.